Let's talk music industry, AKA let's talk bullshit, because the music industry is a broken system for music producers. How do I know this? Because I made 6 figures per year and I average about $15,000 to $20,000 per month cash collected as a music producer, but I didn't do things the way everyone else does it, and I still don't. And I want to talk about these things because I think it's important that you understand these things as well. Disclaimer though, what I will say, I'm pretty confident that the things that I talk about and the themes of my content, the themes of this video, they're not going to be for everybody. I think that there are still plenty of music producers who still want to do things the conventional way, and that's fine. I'm just not the guy for that. So I want to explain to you exactly what I'm talking about and shed light to you as to how you can actually make money with your music skills and your knowledge and your expertise and actually do what you want to do. So quick backstory on me. I've been doing music since 2011. Started out as a rapper, recording artist. Did that for 7 years. Then I learned music production on my own. I learned how to produce. I learned how to play piano. I learned mixing, mastering, all of that stuff. And then I started learning how to actually make money as a music producer. And I learned from 7-figure producer Legion Beats, if you know who he is. And I learned how to sell beats online. I was doing remote mixing, mastering, some in-person stuff. But I was like, you know what? This is cool. And everything that Gabe from Legion Beats taught me is great. And he is amazing. The problem I had was I was like, you know what? Like, I want to go big with this. I want to go big on I want to design my own business and life the way I want to do it. And I never could seem to figure out how to do that through the conventional music industry, which we'll talk about those main pillars of the conventional music industry and just smash each one of them. But I never could figure that out. So what I did do, I ended up getting exposed to internet marketing and the online business world. So think Gary Vee. That was my first exposure. Gary Vee, but then really the guy who really, I would say really changed a lot of my life and perspective was Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels. And I read his book, Dot-Com Secrets, but then the book that really hit for me was Expert Secrets. And it was all about building a business around your expertise. And I said, you know what? Like, I could build a business around my expertise. I know how to produce. I know how to mix and master. I know how to rap. I know how to make music. I love putting out content. I love being on video, building a social media brand and all that stuff, or a personal brand on social media. Anyway, I ended up pivoting way outside of music to start a social media marketing agency for real estate agents. Not super passionate about that. I worked with some amazing clients, but the reason I did that was because I needed to sink my teeth into online business, because I was like, I know that what we're doing as musicians, artists, and music producers, what we're truly doing is building an online business. And I think just that one shift alone for me was the game changer, was I am building an online business. And I think that's a big problem that a lot of artists, musicians, and music producers have, is you're not thinking that you're building an online business. Like, I literally was just in the DMs with somebody today, definitely not even close to my ideal client, but he was like, oh, I really just want to find a manager so that I can just make music and he can do all the negotiating and networking for me, which is such a stupid ass mindset to have, by the way. But I know a lot of music producers have that mindset. So I converted my brain a long time ago to say, no, I'm building an online business. And I like business. I think business is cool because you can build your own life. When you own your own business, now, by the way, it is a bitch to own your own business. It is hard as fuck. It is hard, difficult, complicated, not always fun, but completely worth it every single step of the way. Because at the end of the day, what ends up happening is you get to live your life the way you want. And I remember realizing, you know what, here's the things I love doing. And I think that even you hearing me talk about this, what I want to do is help you watching this to reflect on what it is you really want. And so what I realized I really wanted was, first of all, I started doing the artist route. And I said, okay, so what I learned was I learned how to make songs, make albums, promote my music. I even learned how to run Facebook Messenger ads. I had fans messaging me to want to hear my songs, and I was actually having convos with those fans and selling them CDs. It was cool. It was really cool. But even getting to that point, I was like, dude, I'm selling a $9 CD. Like, how am I gonna make 6 figures with this? Like, getting to that magical 10K a month. Like, how am I gonna make 10K a month selling $10 CDs? Even if I sold $30 shirts, even if I tried to go on tour, like, how the fuck am I gonna make real money selling such cheap things? I was like, I can't do that. When I was in the online business space as a social media marketer, like, we didn't sell cheap shit. We sold expensive shit. I was selling things to realtors 1K a month, 2K a month, 5K, 6K, 8K, 10K packages. Like, I wasn't selling $10 CDs, $50 beats, $20, $30, $50 shirts and hoodies. Like, I wasn't doing that shit. We were selling multiple thousands. So what happened to me was, like, when I got around, and I'm glad I pivoted outside of music just to see, because when I was getting around people who are making $100,000 a month, not in income, by the way, top line revenue, but $100,000 a month, I'm like, okay, I'm getting around real millionaires here. Dude, they're not selling fucking $10 shit. They're selling like $10,000 things, $5,000 things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a mentorship program, and there's one lady who's in there who does fitness coaching. Her program's only $2,500, but she just did over $200,000 cash collected. I got a mentor who's also another fitness coach mentor of mine, who does over 100 grand a month, and his program's like 3K, I think. So you're selling really expensive things to people. It's so much easier to scale your income. So when I got back into the music world and I was like back to selling cheap shit, I was like, no, this ain't right. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So when I decided I'm going to go full time with music, but like, I'm not going to do it selling cheap things, I'm going to do it selling something that's expensive. So I started out at $3,000. And what it was teaching recording artists how to produce their own music. So for you to understand this, you might not want to do coaching as a musician, and that's fine. You don't need to be a coach. But let me explain this niche I was in. I was teaching recording artists how to produce music. First of all, most recording artists don't want to learn how to produce. Second of all, from that group of artists who are interested in music production, most of them are recording off their phone and they don't have a pot to piss in. So very, very, very uphill battle, difficult market. And guess what I did? I was $25,000 in credit card debt when I started that business in January of 2023. And for the first 6 months of 2023, I worked 3 jobs. In the first 6 months, I only took 9 days off total. I was grinding. From January to May of 2023, I basically didn't make any money. I made a couple $1,000. But from May to November, I started running paid ads on Instagram, and I went from $0 to $20,000 per month in profit in 7 months. Then the next year in 2024, I doubled my business. I ended up doing over $100,000 in just the first 7 months of 2024. Now what I do is I help expert music producers create their own online businesses from their music knowledge, skills, and expertise. You don't have to be a coach. I have clients who do just straight up production work, and they get paid thousands of dollars to do that, and they run paid ads profitably. So you don't have to do coaching. However, I also have clients who do coaching and production at the same time. Like one of my clients, Chris, he just closed a $3,000 client last week. And I think what he's doing for them is the custom production and marketing coaching, marketing and branding coaching. So you can have a combo. But the point is, I learned the skill of creating an offer, right? You have to think about when you're building a business, what you're selling. And if you're not selling something expensive, it's gonna be very difficult for you. So to do the math on that, what might come up for you, because I've noticed that a lot of producers say this, well, if I charge a lot of money, people are gonna say no. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right, people are gonna say no. When I hit my first $20,000 month, you wanna know something funny? I got 2,000 followers that month. 2,000 followers in the month. It was November 2023. 2,000 followers. Out of the 2,000 followers, I only converted 8 people to pay me $3,000. But guess what? The 8 people times 3, $23,000. Or sorry, 8 times 3 is $24,000. But some of the people were like we did split pays and payment plans, so it didn't all equal out to 24. It was about 23.3K. But that's okay, because 8 out of 2,000 might not sound like a good number, but when those 8 people pay you a lot of money, that's the cool thing. It's like right now, I'm on the trajectory, and my goal is to get to $30,000 cash collected per month, which is 10 clients at 3K, which is great. Like, I only need 10 people a month. And if I have some people in split pays, that could generate monthly recurring revenue. So the first mindset shift I want you to understand is like, you got to sell something expensive. Okay. Now, the next thing is lifestyle design. I'm really big on that. Like, I care a lot about my life, not just my business. Like, I care a lot about like, what is my life going to be like? So I remember, I still live this to this day, but I remember saying to myself, now imagine, I want to take you back here. Imagine how confused I was when I realized this. But I remember saying to myself, I want to make money from my sweats and my slippers. By the way, I'm in my sweats and I'm wearing slippers. I said, I want to make money from my sweats and my slippers. So even though I'm an artist, even though I love making my own music, and even though I love writing songs and recording and putting out songs and making videos, you know what's kind of funny about me? I'm kind of weird. I don't really want to tour. Doing shows and getting up on stage is super dope, like love rocking the mic and rocking the crowd. But everything around doing a show, I fucking hate. Planning the show, executing it, getting there, the sound, it fucking sucks. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much that it isn't worth it to me. Like, I do love performing, but it isn't worth it. Especially if we're talking about touring. Dude, think about what it's like when you have to tour. First of all, you have to build up an audience that's big enough for you to go do a tour. Do you know how to build an audience? You're gonna probably have to pump out a ton of content. You're probably gonna have to pump out a ton of paid ads. How are you gonna pump out content and paid ads if you're not making money from your music? You're probably gonna go have to work a job that you probably aren't that passionate about, or 2 or 3 jobs that you're not passionate about, like I did. And you're gonna have to balance out paying your bills and siphoning that money into paying for the music. And you're gonna have to siphon that money into paying to get the music done and promote it, just to build a crowd that's big enough for you to go tour. But then you have to go do the touring. You have to organize the tour. You have to talk to venues. You have to talk to promoters. Like, that whole business model, I was just like, ew, fuck that. I don't want to do that. So I gave up on that. You want to make passive money streaming on Spotify. Bro, I don't know why, like, and I'm not trying to insult people. This is going to sound really disrespectful, but it's my fucking YouTube video. Who gives a fuck? When I hear people say my goal is I'm trying to make passive income from Spotify streams, I'm like, dude, that is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, bro. That is so fucking retarded. I'm sorry, that is dumb as shit. You wanna make money from Spotify. They pay you 3,000th of a fucking penny, brother. Like, if you wanna make $3 grand a month, you have to get 1 million streams, you fuck nut. 1 million streams for 3K a month. So me, like, I wanna make 30 grand a month. So, shit, my math's so bad. My math is so bad. Oh, bro. I'm gonna say, I think that's 10 million streams. Because if 1 million, yeah, exactly, cool, I did it in my head. I'd have to get 10 million streams a month to make 30 grand a month. Now, you might be sitting here being like, well, I don't need to make 30 grand a month. Okay, great, fine. What do you wanna make, 5 grand a month? Because there's no fucking way, there's no chance in hell that you're gonna sit here and really look at me and tell me you're cool with making 3 grand a month. You can't do shit with 3 grand a month in the United States. Where the fuck are you gonna live? That's like rent. So that's crazy. Oh, well, I can also do merch and we can do shows and it's like, merch? Do you know how, bro, the profit margins on physical clothing is terrible. Like, your profit margins on that are shit. Like, I don't even know, dude, this shit seems so obvious to me and people just like, I don't know, do you just not think about it? Like, what? So the streaming thing was out, the low ticket product sales were out, touring was out, sync placements, yeah, I definitely want to do sync placements and get my shit in movies, for sure, because I'm totally down to upload my music to sync libraries, hope and pray and wish that someone gives me the green light, and then once they give me the green light and they end up agreeing to pay me, I wait 3 to 12 months to get paid. Oh yeah, for sure, I could pay my bills with that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Sync? That's what you want to do? I have a whole video on my channel called Sync is Stupid. You should watch it. I pull out the iPad, I draw, but it's like, again, it's like, what? That's how you want to pay your bills? Think about this, bro. Me personally, like when I go to the grocery store, okay, I never trip out at the grocery store. Do you know how fucking freeing, and I go to Sprouts. You know about Sprouts? Sprouts is like the expensive grocery store, right? Do you know how fucking liberating it is to go to Sprouts knowing I can get whatever the fuck I want? Do you know how liberating it is going to the gas station and not giving a fuck? Like, you know how liberating it is to pay rent and be like, yeah, of course I have rent money. You know how nice that is? You really want to rely on sync placements? Do you think that sync is going to have you have that feeling when you go to the grocery store? Truly. Like, what? You want to sit at home all day making music you don't know you're going to get paid for? What the fuck kind of life is that? It's stupid, bro. Like, what? Bro, like, it's crazy. What about networking with big artists and getting placements with big artists? Again, it's the same as sync, but worse because you have to deal with these fucking labels and these artists who might not even put out your music. Like, it's fucking insane, bro. So what I do and what my clients do is we work directly with artists, okay? So I build out what we call them, they're called high ticket offers. That's the name in the online business world, is a high ticket offer. Think of it like an expensive service, okay? I tell my clients, let's start at $2,000, like charge $2,000, but I have clients who charge $1,000. I have clients who charge $3,000. I even have clients who are like, I'm down to downsell, meaning I have a $1,000 service, but if someone can only afford $500, I will sell them something worth $500 that isn't difficult delivery. Like I have clients who are like, they have a full package, right? It's $1,500 or $1K, beat, mix, master, like some video modules, maybe some calls that they do with the artist. But if the artist like, I only have $500, guess what they do? Okay, I'll do a beat for you. I'll do a beat, I'll sell you a beat. Guess what? They send an email with a fucking MP or a wave and they've just got paid $500. Like there's nothing wrong with that either, right? That's downselling. We want to build at the core offer of 2,000, but even then you can downsell. You have a little bit of flexibility. Dude, getting paid $500 to send an email ain't bad. One of my clients, Gabe, who happens to be my best friend, he did that and closed the person all via chat in the DMs on Instagram. Like he didn't even get on a sales call with them or anything. So like I teach my clients, what I do is like, dude, let's build out something where you could charge $2,000. Like think of it like an ultimate music bundle, like everything. Throw everything, including the kitchen sink at them. Now, the way we get people to see us is I like to run Instagram ads. Like I like to film an Instagram reel, vertical with the phone, film myself. Now, obviously there's like a certain way you want to say things in a script, so it's not as easy as just filming yourself, but I digress. We upload that as an Instagram reel, and then you go to your computer, you go to the post, you go to the blue boost post button, you boost it. It's a really simple setup. You know, I have clients start at 10 a day. I'm currently running $50 a day on ads, but I've gone back and forth between 50 a day and 200 a day on ads, right? So I'm running an ad right now for 50 a day, but you don't have to run for 50. You can go for, I'd suggest starting out 10 to 30 a day. Most of my clients start at 10 bucks a day. One of my clients, Corey, is literally only running $11 a day in ads, and he spent $100 and got a $500 client off of $100 of ad spend. That's a 5x return. My client Gabe, who I was telling you about earlier, spent $190. He ended up getting a $3,000 client off that. So it's obviously a very profitable move. Remember I told you about that month I did 23K? I only spent $2,900 on the ads. So if we do 23,300 divided by 2,900, that was an 8x return on ad spend for me, right? Over my entire lifetime, I think my whole return on ad spend is about 3x on over $300,000 of cash collected, meaning I've spent $100,000 and I've gotten $200,000 back. So around that number. It's probably a little more, a little less, but it's around those numbers. So I teach my clients how to do that. Run ads profitably. What we then do is like you run an ad, you get followers, and then you're DMing every single follower. Really easy, bro. You're sending DMs. It's super easy. You're copy pasting messages in your DMs, having conversations with them where you're qualifying them in the DMs, meaning like you get an artist and like you want to make sure you're not talking like a broke, stupid artist who doesn't have a pot to piss in. So you ask them questions like, do you want to do music full time? If you don't do, okay, you want to do music full time. Well, what do you do for work until music becomes full time? Shit like that. And then you can find out if they have a job. You can find out if they're spending money with other producers. You can start to financially qualify them, and then you book a call with them. You have a call with them via Zoom or Google Meet. I suggest Zoom. You talk to them. You conduct a sales call with them. Essentially, you're just seeing if they're qualified. You're asking them a bunch of intelligent questions to see if you can help them. And then you pitch your service to them and you collect cash right then and there on the call. It's fucking great. It's really simple. It's really profitable. What ends up happening is like you're literally making money from your sweats and slippers, making music for other people. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And so my thing is, I don't want to sit here and like try to sway people too much, because if you're super locked in on like, it has to be sync, it has to be touring, it has to be Spotify, it has to be placements with artists, I'm not your guy. I'm just not. I don't do any of that shit. I think that shit is dumb. I don't think it's building a real business. What I do is I'm truly building an online business with my music, because I love online business and I love music. And the reason I love those things, I love music, I love making music, I love living my life through music, I love being creative, I love Splice, I love arcade, I love auto-tune, I love fucking my keyboard, I love making music. Last night, me and my brother Gabe went and filmed a music video for me. I love filming videos, I love putting out songs. Like that is what I'm passionate about. And I love making music for other people too. I love making beats for other people, mixing, mastering for other people. I like making the music. That's what I like. Now, I also love online business. I love online business because it gives me the opportunity to build a life where I can make money from my sweats and slippers. Bro, what the fuck time is it right now? Dude, it's 9:15. Like, it's 9:15. I'm sitting here in my sweats and slippers, fucking drinking a coffee out of a mug that I made. How sick is this mug, by the way? I made it. The title is The Night Is Ours, I think. Yeah, the title is The Night Is Ours. Like, it's fucking dope. Like, I have fun. I make these videos. Like, I smash DMs. I work with clients. I work at home, obviously, and it's fucking dope. Like, it's great, and I love my fucking life. Like, I really love my life, and I enjoy my life, and I'm appreciative of my life. And it's like I'm on the road to go get to $30,000 per month cash collected. Like, I wouldn't be able to, and I'm, by the way, predictably, I wouldn't be able to predictably get there if I had to rely on sync or like Spotify streams. And actually, if I do 30,000, that is 10x. Like, if I was trying to do that with a combination of sync and touring and Spotify streams, like, my life would kind of suck to me. But like, I get to do shit from my computer. I get to make content. I get to talk to people virtually. I can take time off whenever the fuck I want. Me and my wife are going to Colombia October 3rd. We just argued about that. I said, is it October 2nd or 3rd? Anyway, we're going October 3rd to the 17th for 2 weeks. And like, during that time, guess what? I'm not taking on any new clients in that time. I have the freedom to do that because I can build my own business the fucking way I want. So this was definitely like a long rant video, but I wanted to talk about these things for you. I want to divulge these things for you because I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you want to do. Dude, you just want to make music and make money and work from home. And you don't want to have to work these random part-time jobs or a full-time 9 to 5. Dude, if you're making $5,000 a month income even, I bet you're going to be like super hyped off just making music. And it's scalable. That's the cool thing. The cool thing about my system, which I call the modern music model, is our system that we run is very flexible, it's predictable, it's scalable, and it's honestly kind of fun. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you found some value here, because at the end of the day, that's all I really want to do here. So appreciate you coming here, tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.